Do you have permission to do what you want? Permission is a really interesting thing. Oftentimes when my clients come to me or my students come to me to help them work towards a desired state, I ask them a question that says, do you have permission to have your desired state? Permission to create a new business, to get into a relationship, to leave one, to communicate, to say what they want to say, to spread their wings, to love. And sometimes people look at me like, well, of course I do. But then when they look inside, they go, ooh, actually, no, I don't have permission. Then I follow up with whose permission do you need, or where was the permission taken away from you? And what do you believe about that permission in the first place? This question, whose permission do you need, or do you have permission for this? This is a meta question. Meta questions were originally developed from working with our NLP model and our meta model, and then further dissected by Michael Hall and Michelle Duvall. There's a whole list of them in one of their books, Meta Coaching Volume 1. There's about 60 or so different categories, and this one is looking at permission. This question helps to dig down into the deeper structure of our mind. The top or surface structure, this is our thinking and our thoughts and our analysis. And the deeper structure has our beliefs and our concepts and our values. It's where our memories live. It's where everything that it's the soup of our life. This is what creates our model of the world. And sometimes we have beliefs that don't uphold what we want, or we have beliefs that are upholding what we don't want. And that's why we keep doing what we do. Sometimes our beliefs say that we don't have permission for something. We're not allowed to do something. Or maybe there's too much permission to do something, and we might need to reel that back a little bit. This is a really interesting thing because in essence, like logically, of course, you have permission to be you. You have permission to do what you want to do and live your life the way that you want. But what if in that unconscious realm, because most of our life, about 90% of our life, is run by our unconscious mind. What if there was a belief or a program that said, you're not allowed? That you're not allowed to be who you want to be because that's not how we do it in our family. Or in our religion, we don't have money. Or we taken a plea for poverty. Or in our family, blah, 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 fill in the blank. And it doesn't have to be from our family, or it could be our culture. It could just be me. And there could be those various elements. Ooh, I don't have permission. I used to be, I'm still a little bit, but I used to be really shy. And I wouldn't even go up to people and ask directions. I'd rather figure it out, be late, get lost, and figure it out or not, than ask for permission. Or sorry, not permission, ask for directions. But one day after I learned this question, I'm like wandering in the street somewhere going, oh, I wish I could ask somebody where to go. Oh no, what are they going to think of me? And that fear comes up. This little voice inside me said, Heidi, do you have permission to ask for help? And I went, nope. Whose permission do you need? And this is all internal, standing on the street somewhere in the world. And I went, I just need mine. And then I asked myself a couple more questions. What prevents you? Well, I don't want somebody to think that I'm an idiot. Will you ever see this person again? Probably not. And I went, of course I have permission to go and ask somebody for directions. And I went and asked somebody for directions, and I was about 2 blocks away. I had no idea where I had been, but in that moment, I didn't have permission to ask for help. Sometimes we don't have permission to ask for help or receive or be happy or go for that job or be who we want to be or laugh when we don't want to laugh. There's this aspect of that imposter syndrome, and I believe I have a video on this YouTube channel about the imposter syndrome. The imposter syndrome says that somebody doesn't have permission to be themselves. And they think that they're going to be found out as a fraud for faking it. What if they could just be them? What if they could just be in a relationship and be themselves? I was watching a movie the other day. It wasn't really a very good movie, so I'm not going to recommend the movie to you. But it was one of those, he loves her, she loves him, neither one know it, and eventually they come together. And the girl had been dating lots of different guys, but she was always not quite herself. She would, dress up and put the makeup on and look beautiful, very visually appealing. But what she really wanted was just to be her and to dress how she wanted to dress and live how she wanted to live, and sometimes show up just with her hair in a ponytail and no makeup on at all. Interestingly, she ended up getting a roommate, a male roommate. And this male roommate, you know where the story's going, very predictable, but so much to life. Her roommate, she was just her. She would rock up to the kitchen wearing her pajamas, hair in a mess coming out from bed, and she got to know this guy and he got to know her as she was. And moral of the story, she was herself, they fell in love, and she realized that she could be herself. But up until that moment, she didn't have permission to be herself. What do you need permission for? Whose permission do you need? Who took away permission? And if you had permission back, what would that allow you in life? Think about that. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, be sure to like it, subscribe to the channel, share it with someone else, and I'll see you next time.